Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, I believe even Bad Bunny endorsed him, no? Residente, um, a lot of
Yeah.
celebrities from yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the final rally for the campaign last year, I was watching it on YouTube from here. It was like a huge party and concert, and there's tens of thousands of people, and yeah, performances by Residente, by Bad Bunny, a bunch of other artists. Um, so yeah, it became like this really big cultural and political moment. It didn't lead to a win for the Independence Party yet, right? Not in 2024, but I think people got to understand that this is a party that in 2016 their gubernatorial candidate got 2% of the vote, and in
Right.
2024 it got 32% of the vote. So we're talking about exponential growth um, in support for that party, and similar results happening in the plebiscites and some of these status votes that Puerto Rico has on its political status.
But even if they did win, I mean, is there any way they could maybe manipulate some of the results from that election over there? Again, the corruption is so rampant over there, right? Even if the Independence Party, how you pronounce his name,
Dalmau, yeah.
Dalmau, even if he did win, would there may be any way he could have gotten screwed out of that election? Because the support was like you said, it was never seen before. The Independence Party never got that many votes in the history of um, that
Yeah.
election over there.
Yeah, there's been reports of, irregularities in Puerto Rican elections for a long time. One of the things that the pro statehood party did, not even this last time, but I think a couple of election cycles ago, is they sort of did a takeover of the or they changed the laws for Puerto Rico's electoral commission, the entity that runs Puerto Rico's elections, and they've made all kinds of policy changes and structural changes there to sort of assume one party control over how Puerto Rico's elections are run. So definitely a lot of concerns there and a lot of things to look at. I don't know if I'd sit here and tell you that Dalmau had the election stolen from him. I don't think there's evidence for that. But either way, um, I think both are true at the same time. There are a lot of shady things that happen in in Puerto Rican elections, and the statehood party especially is always seems to be involved in some shady dealings. Um, but hopefully that doesn't detract from continuing to push for electoral wins, continuing hopefully to improve and clean up Puerto Rico's electoral system. But I think many of us, myself included, despite all of that crap that happened or may have happened, feel really really optimistic and inspired by the growth of the independence movement, and just kind of progressive politics, and sort of an opposition party in Puerto Rico to this corrupt political duopoly that's governed us for the last, like I said, since we've been able to sort of govern ourselves, since 1948. Yeah, for sure.